Hello to everybody. My name is Mădălina Vlad. I'm the CEO of MBV Group. MBV Group means that we have multiple companies that deal with accounting, expertise for accounting, trade register operations, and last but not least, attracting European funds for our clients and any other client that it is interested in this field. And now, because I already talked about European funds and how to attract grants for your company here in Romania, the subject of this video is what are the most eligible fields of activity that can attract easily financing and why. I will make a top 5 and I will explain why I made this one. So stay with me and let's see all the information that you may get from here. As you all may know, grants can be a real accelerator for developing a business if it already exists, or a motor that starts a business whenever it's necessary in the beginning. But as you all may know, not all the fields of activity are equally treated in the face of the financing institution. So that's why I wanted to present you what are the most eligible 5 domains to obtain grants here in Romania. And we will start with number 1, which is production. As you may know, manufacturing is the most eligible field to obtain a financing here in Romania because it has a lot of pluses compared to other fields of activity. And I will explain you a little bit what are those pluses that puts it the first one in obtaining the grants. And the first reason is the fact that it generates added value to all the factors in the economy. The second reason is because it creates a lot of working places. No one can work alone in manufacturing. You need people to help you with all the business. Of course, that manufacturing and the products that you do there have a lot of potential for export or import, basically on import to substitute the import. And all the manufacturing fields of activity involves tangible acquisitions of equipment that are easy to track and easy to follow in the next years of reporting. And now let's see a little bit what you can finance in manufacturing if you want to attract funds, what you can buy basically. First of all, equipment, production lines, and all kind of machineries that can help you in the production field. Secondly, modernization and expansion of the production space. For example, if you want to build something or you want to develop or make something bigger than you have because you don't have too much space to deposit, for example, it can be possible through these kind of European funds. Also, you can buy everything related to digitalization system, computers, programs, softwares, and so on. You can participate to international fairs. You can have any type of certification, and the examples may continue. There are this year 2 European lines that will open soon in the east side of Romania and north and southeast of Romania. And we just wait the government to say, okay, let's start and see what we can do. And now let me give you a few examples of what kind of businesses you can do in this area, in this field of production, I mean. You may do wood processing workshops. You may work in the food industry, sweets, bakery, and so on. You may work on garments and textiles. You may work on furniture production, in handicrafts production, and so on. There are a lot of fields of activity that are included here in the production area. The second domain that can obtain funds easily is digitalization and IT services. Basically, digitalization is an essential pillar in all European strategic development plans. That's why it's the most eligible to get European funds. And of course, I will tell you why. The main reason is the fact that it provides multiple workplaces, as production does as well. And the second reason is the fact that digitalization can support all the other fields. Basically, you may include a component of digitalization in all the projects that you want to develop further. Now let's see a little bit what you can finance in digitalization and IT services, because this is also important to know. You may purchase IT equipment like servers, monitors, laptops, peripherals, and so on. You may buy anything that is related to a software component like CRM, ERP, and any other specific application for each client that requests something. You may create websites or online platforms if you need this kind of digitalization. You may be the beneficiary of cloud services, cybersecurity, and any other digital consultation. And now, let me give you some example of businesses that can be done and can obtain easily European grants in this field of digitalization and IT services. Any startup that has software in its component, it's a good choice for obtaining grants. All the digital marketing agencies can obtain funds, all the people that are developing software, and all the providers of solutions to small and medium enterprises are also eligible to obtain this kind of grants. Now, the third domain that can easily obtain grants, and it's preferred to others, is the rural tourism and tourism in general. Because the tourism promotes the valorization of local resources and of course preservation of all the traditions. And because tourism is creating economic opportunities in underdeveloped areas. So let's see a little bit what you can finance with financing in this field, with grants in this field. The first would be the construction or modernization of the guest house for the tourists, the arrangements of recreational spaces, equipment, furniture, bicycles, and any thematic workshops. You can finance also online platforms, creating a brand, and so on. And now I would want to give you some ideas of this kind of business in this area. Hotels or pensions in the mountains or traditional areas. Farms open to the public with educational activities. Thematic tourist routes. Summer camps, eco-retreats, and so on. The list is long, we may continue. Any idea you may have is good, you just need to talk and discuss with a good consultant to see if it's applicable or not for you. The fourth domain that I can see easily to get the financing is the area of medical and wellness services, because this is something that helps all the people in some area to create plus value and of course to have good services like we have in the Eastern Europe, for example. Let's see why it is so easily to finance this kind of business. And the main reason for this is that it's a strategic investment for that area. Why strategic? Because it will attract a lot of clients, not only from that area, but also from the cities nearby or even from abroad. And as all the other domains, this kind of field is generating a lot of jobs. And now let's see a little bit what you can buy with money in this field of activity. You may buy medical equipment that you need in certain field of activity. You can set up the place, and I mean here not only by construction and reconditioning of the place, I'm talking here also about the rent. You can purchase any type of software, medical software I mean. And on certain programs, you may also pay the salary for newly hired staff. And here are some Example of businesses that you can do in this field of activity: dental, gynecological and pediatric offices, medical recovery centers, psychotherapy centers, speech therapy centers, kinetotherapy centers, and so on. The list, as I said, is long. You just need to comply with the medical direction and everything can be done, and thought about obtaining a grant here. And the last of these 5 easiest domains to obtain grants is green energy and sustainable solutions. Sustainability is one of the EU most major priorities, so investments in this kind of fields are essential on all the lines that they want to open and all the European projects that are already opened. Basically, in this field, the funding is given for sustainable solutions primarily, especially because these are seen as a strategic investment and not as an expense. So we all should know that a project that reduces gas, fuel, and other type of consumption brings direct savings to the beneficiary company, reduces risks in times of crisis because you use what you produce and you are not influenced by the price of the competitors. And for sure, it will increase the competitiveness of the company on long term. And now let's see a little bit what you can finance on this field. You may buy photovoltaic systems and solar panels. You may buy smart lighting systems or efficiency sensors, why not? You may buy charging stations for the company business or for the company's cars. You may propose a project about waste reduction solutions or about eco-friendly packaging and so on. The ideas, as I said, are multiple on all the fields that I already presented to you. So basically, even though the grants are tempting for each entrepreneur, everybody wants to take them, choosing the field in which you want to make the investment may make the difference between failure and success. So it's quite important to know what are the most eligible domains to make an investment in, or what components you should put in your project in order to raise your points so that you can obtain those grants. My advice would be like this. If you are just starting, you can take a close look on what I presented already, because choosing the niche that I've talked about may lead you to accessing European funds in the near future. If you already have a company, you may analyze what kind of component from what I already presented can be integrated in your financials and in your production and in your type of business, so that in the end you may have a good service to present, and also a service that it's somehow eco-friendly. And now, as a final tip, I do recommend you to work with a good consultant who knows and has an in-depth understanding of all the requirements of the financing program, active or inactive, it doesn't matter, so that it maximizes the chances that you may have to receive an European project here in Romania. If you don't know where to look for it or what to ask for, you may write anytime to our email address, office at mbv-tax.ro, or you may write here directly in the comments area and somebody from our team will answer to you ASAP. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you will stay with us in the next videos. Thank you and have a nice day.